You ever notice how the people who light the match always scream the loudest when the fire gets out of control? They wanted the flames. They wanted the chaos. They thought they'd watch you burn, watch you crumble into ashes while they stood there, smug, safe, and untouchable. But life? Oh, life doesn't work that way, my friend. No, no, no. They started the fire, but now they're the ones getting burned. And here's the punchline. They didn't see it coming. They never do. They thought they'd be the ones in control, holding the strings, pulling you around like some broken marionette. But you didn't play their game. You didn't fall apart. Instead, you stood in the middle of their firestorm and let it forge you into something they could never touch. And now the flames are licking at their heels, and they don't know how to put them out. You see, people like them, they're cowards. They're not strong. Strong people don't need to set fires to feel powerful. Strong people don't tear others down just to feel taller. No, they're weak, fragile, afraid, and their fear, that's what makes them dangerous. That's what makes them light those matches in the first place. Because if they can't rise above, they'll drag everyone else down into the dirt with them. But you? Oh, you didn't fall, did you? You didn't let their flames consume you. Instead, you turned them against them. You took their hate, their lies, their betrayal, and you used it as fuel. Every insult, every knife in the back, every attempt to break you, it didn't destroy you. It built you, brick by brick, scar by scar. And now you're standing tall while they're choking on the smoke of their own destruction. You want to know why they hate you so much? Why they keep coming after you, even when it's clear they've already lost? It's not because of what you've done. No, it's because of what you've become. You're everything they'll never be. Strong, resilient, unshakable. You've taken every punch, every wound, every betrayal, and you've turned it into armor. And that armor, it terrifies them, because it reflects all their weaknesses, all their insecurities, all the things they try to hide behind their masks. When they look at you, they don't see you. They see themselves. And they hate it. They hate you because you remind them of everything they're not. But don't you dare feel sorry for them. Don't you dare pity them. They don't deserve your mercy, your forgiveness, your compassion. They didn't show you any, did they? No. They lit the match. They watched the flames rise. They laughed while you struggled, while you fought to keep your head above the smoke. They wanted you to suffocate. They wanted you to burn. And now they're the ones gasping for air. They're the ones panicking, scrambling, trying to escape the fire they started. But there's no escape, my friend. No escape from the consequences of their own actions. You didn't ask for this, did you? You didn't ask to be dragged into their chaos, into their games, into their pathetic little power plays. But they dragged you in anyway. And now, they're paying the price. Because the thing about fire, it doesn't care who started it. It doesn't care who thought they were in control. It consumes everything in its path, without mercy, without hesitation. And you've become the fire. That's what they didn't see coming. They thought you'd be the victim, the one who'd break, the one who'd crumble into dust. But instead, you became something stronger, something they can't control. They thought they could play with fire, but now they're the ones getting burned. And the best part, you didn't have to do a damn thing. You didn't have to stoop to their level, didn't have to play their games. All you did was survive. All you did was refuse to fall. And that was enough. Enough to turn their own fire against them. But don't think it's over. Don't think they'll stop now. People like them, they don't know how to quit. They'll keep trying, keep scheming, keep throwing everything they have at you, hoping, praying that you'll finally break. Because they can't stand the thought of you winning. They can't stand the thought of you walking away from their flames without a single burn. But you're not like them, are you? You don't need their approval. You don't need their validation. You've already won, and they know it. They know they can't touch you, can't hurt you, can't break you. And that's what will haunt them for the rest of their lives. So let them burn, let them scream, let them choke on the smoke of their own lies, their own betrayal, their own destruction. They started this fire. And now it's their turn to suffer. And you just keep standing there, calm, strong, unshakable. Watch as they crumble. Watch as their world burns around them. And remember this, you didn't start the fire, but you sure as hell made sure they couldn't escape it. You know why they started the fire, don't you? It wasn't just about you. No, it's never just about you. People like that, they burn down everything they touch because they can't stand the sight of someone else standing tall. They hate strength. They don't understand. They hate calmness they can't shake. They hate resilience they can't break. So they light the match and they tell themselves it's justified, that you deserve it. But deep down, they're scared. Scared of what you represent. Scared of what you've survived. Scared that no matter how many fires they start, you'll always rise from the ashes. And that fear, it eats at them. Every single day they thought they'd make you weak, but instead they revealed their own weakness. Here's the thing about fire. It's greedy. It doesn't stop. It doesn't care who started it, who's feeding it, who's trying to control it. Once it's loose, it consumes everything. And them, they thought they were in control. Thought they could point the flames in your direction and walk away without a scratch. But now they're watching it spread, watching it turn back on them, consuming everything they built, everything they thought was safe. And they're panicking because for the first time they're feeling what they wanted you to feel. The heat, the fear, the helplessness, And you? You're just standing there watching it all unfold. Not because you wanted this, not because you planned it, but because you refused to break. And now, the fire they started has nowhere else to go but back to them. It's poetic, really. They thought they could control the chaos. But chaos doesn't play by their rules. It's wild, unpredictable, unforgiving. And you became the embodiment of that chaos. You didn't need to fight them, didn't need to retaliate. All you had to do was survive. And now, every step you take, every breath you draw, it's like throwing gasoline on their fire. They see you and they burn. Burn with jealousy, with anger, with regret. Because you're the proof they'll never be what they tried to destroy. They'll never have your strength, your resilience, your calmness, and it's killing them. But don't let their screams fool you. Don't let their desperation make you soft. They started this fire, and they deserve every second of the pain it's bringing them. They didn't show you mercy, did they? No. They wanted you to suffer, wanted you to feel the heat, to choke on the smoke, to beg for air. They didn't care about your pain, your struggle, your survival. So why should you care about theirs? Let them burn. Let them choke. Let them drown in the chaos they unleashed. It's not your responsibility to save them. It's not your job to put out their fire. You've done enough. You've survived enough. Now it's their turn to face the flames. You know what the real tragedy is? They'll never learn. Even as the fire consumes them, even as they watch their world fall apart, they'll blame you. They'll call you the villain, the monster, the one who ruined everything. Because admitting the truth, admitting they did this to themselves, that would mean facing their own reflection. And people like them, they'd rather burn than face the truth. So let them. Let them point their fingers. Let them spread their lies. Let them scream your name in anger. It doesn't matter, because the truth is out there, written in the ashes of everything they destroyed. And deep down they know. They know they lit the match. They know they fed the flames. They know this fire is theirs. You don't need their apologies. You don't need their explanations, their excuses, their fake tears. None of it will ever undo what they tried to do. And you've already moved past it. You've already risen above it, but here's the thing. You'll never forget. You'll never forget the flames they set at your feet, the way they tried to watch you burn. And that memory, that's your strength. That's your fuel. Every time you see their faces, every time you hear their names, you'll remember what they tried to take from you. And you'll remind yourself that they failed. They started the fire, but you walked through it. You turned it into power. And now, they're the ones choking on the smoke, watching their world collapse, knowing they did this to themselves. They wanted you to break, they wanted you to fall. But instead, you became something they'll never understand. Stronger, harder, unshakable. And now, every time they see you, they'll feel the fire they started. They'll feel it burning them from the inside out. And you'll stand there, calm, untouched, watching as they destroy themselves. That's the beauty of it, my friend. They started the fire. But now, they're the ones getting burned. You know what's funny? They think they've still got a chance. Even now, as the fire they started eats away at everything they built, they're still clinging to some pathetic hope that they'll come out on top, that they'll rebuild, that they'll regain control, that they'll find a way to pull you down again. But that's the joke, isn't it? Because the fire doesn't stop. It doesn't care about their plans, their excuses, their desperation. It just keeps burning, and the more they try to escape, the faster it spreads. They lit the match, thinking they were untouchable, that they could control it, that they could control you. But now they're realizing the truth. Chaos doesn't pick sides. It doesn't follow rules. It consumes everything in its path, especially the ones who started it. But you didn't just survive. You embraced the flames. You stood in the middle of their chaos and let it fuel you, shape you, transform you into something they'll never understand. While they panicked, while they stumbled, while they burned, you stayed calm, and that calmness, it's your weapon. It's what makes you dangerous. Because calmness isn't just about silence. It's about control. It's about looking the storm in the eye and saying, I'm not afraid of you. And that terrifies them. Because they've spent their whole lives running from their own storms, hiding from their own chaos, pretending it doesn't exist. But you faced it. You've let it tear through you, and now there's nothing left for them to destroy. Oh, they'll try to fight back. They'll try to rebuild. Try to convince themselves that they're still in control. But deep down, they know the truth. They know they've already lost. Because no matter how many times they light the match, no matter how many fires they start, they'll never be able to touch you again. You've become something they can't burn, something they can't break. You've taken their fire, their chaos, their hate, and you've turned it into something they'll never have. Power. Real power. The kind that doesn't scream or shout or demand attention. The kind that just is. But don't think for a second that they're done with you. People like them. They don't know how to quit. They'll keep coming. Keep scheming. Keep trying to find a way to drag you back into their chaos. Because they can't stand the thought of you standing tall while they fall apart. But that's their problem, not yours. You've already won. Every time they see you, every time they hear your name, They'll feel the fire. They started creeping closer, hotter, more relentless. And you'll stand there, calm, untouchable, watching as they burn themselves to the ground. Here's the truth they don't want to admit. They started this fire because they were scared of you. Scared of your strength, your resilience, your ability to survive no matter what they threw at you. They thought they could snuff you out, reduce you to ashes, make you disappear. But instead, you became something stronger, something they can't control. And now they'll spend the rest of their lives choking on the smoke of their own destruction. They'll look at you and see everything they could have been, everything they'll never be, and it'll eat them alive. But don't let their screams distract you. Don't let their chaos pull you back in. You've come too far, fought too hard, to let them drag you down now. Let them burn. Let them crumble. Let them face the consequences of their own actions. Because you're untouchable. You've turned their fire into your power, their chaos into your calm, their hate into your strength. And now, no matter how hard they try, no matter how loud they scream, they'll never be able to take that away from you. They wanted to watch you burn. They wanted to see you fall, to see you crumble into nothing. But instead, they started a fire they couldn't control. And now, it's their world that's turning to ash. Their lies, their games, their power, all of it gone. So let them scream. Let them fight. Let them drown in the chaos they created. Because this fire, it's theirs. And you're not the one burning anymore. You're the one standing tall, watching as the flames consume everything they thought they controlled. And that's the punchline. They thought they'd destroy you, but all they did was destroy themselves. You think they'll stop? You think this fire will burn itself out? No, fires like this, they don't just fade away. They feed on fear, on lies, on desperation. And people like them, they'll keep throwing everything into the flames. Everything they have left. Everything they are. Because they can't admit that they've already lost. They'll try to rewrite the story, try to paint themselves as the victims, the martyrs, the ones who were wronged. They'll twist your name, twist your actions, twist the truth, because that's all they have left. Lies, lies, and smoke. But you don't need to say a word. You don't need to defend yourself, because the truth is written in the ashes of everything they destroyed. You don't owe them anything. Not your time, not your energy, not your forgiveness. They lit the match. They started this fire. And now, they're choking on the consequences. Let them. Let them wallow in the mess they made. Let them drown in the chaos they unleashed. That's not your burden to carry. Because here's the thing, they didn't just try to destroy you. They tried to erase you, tried to strip you of everything you were, everything you stood for, everything you fought to build. They wanted to see you as nothing more than a pile of ash, a memory, a whisper of what you once were. But instead, you became something they couldn't predict, something they couldn't control, something they'll never understand. You became the fire itself. They wanted chaos, didn't they? They wanted destruction, power, control. But chaos doesn't bow to anyone. It doesn't play favorites. They thought they could use it against you, but chaos turned on them. Chaos chose you because you didn't try to fight it. You didn't try to control it. You let it shape you, strengthen you, make you into something they can't touch. And now they're scrambling to put out the fire, to salvage what's left of their world, to undo the damage they caused. But it's too late. The fire doesn't care about their regrets, their excuses, their cries for mercy. It just burns. And you don't need to lift a finger. All you have to do is stand there and watch. Watch as the flames they started consume everything they thought they controlled. Watch as their lies unravel, their masks slip, their world collapses around them. Watch as they burn. But don't let them fool you. Don't let their screams or their tears make you doubt yourself. They'll try to make you feel guilty, make you feel like you're the one to blame, like you're the villain in their story. But you're not the villain, my friend. You're the survivor, the fighter, the one who walked through their fire and came out stronger. And now, you're the reminder they can't escape. The reminder of everything they tried to destroy and failed. Every time they see you, every time they hear your name, they'll feel the flames again. They'll feel the heat, the smoke, the fear they tried to bury. And they'll know deep down that they did this to themselves. You don't need to fight them anymore. You don't need to prove anything. You've already won. They started the fire, and now they're the ones paying the price. Let them. Let them scream. Let them cry. Let them beg for a mercy they never gave you. It doesn't matter. Because you're untouchable now. You've risen above their games, their lies, their hate. You've taken their fire and turned it into your strength. And now, no matter what they do, no matter how hard they try, they'll never be able to pull you down again. And that's a real joke, isn't it? They thought they were in control, thought they were the ones holding the match. But now they're the ones running from the flames, choking on the smoke, watching everything they built turn to ash. So let them burn. Let them suffer. Let them drown in the chaos they created. They thought they could destroy you, but all they did was destroy themselves. And you're still here, standing, strong, unbroken. They started the fire, but now it's their turn to burn. They thought the fire was their weapon. They thought it gave them power, control, domination. They didn't see it for what it truly was, a monster they couldn't tame. Fire doesn't obey orders. It doesn't care who started it. It just devours. And the moment they lit that match, the moment they aimed their chaos at you, they sealed their own fate. You didn't even have to fight back. That's the beauty of it, isn't it? You didn't need revenge, didn't need to stoop to their level, didn't need to dirty your hands. All you had to do was stand there. Stand tall. Stand strong. And let the fire turn back on them. Because the truth is, they were always going to burn themselves. You were just the mirror that showed them the flames. But don't think they'll go quietly. No, people like them. They'll claw, they'll scream, they'll lash out with everything they have left, because that's all they know, how to destroy. They can't stand the thought of losing, can't stand the thought of someone like you rising above their games. So they'll keep coming, keep throwing their pathetic little punches, hoping, praying that they can break you. But they don't understand you, do they? They don't understand what you've been through, what you've survived, what you've become. They don't see the strength that lies beneath your calmness, the fire you've turned into your power. And that's why they'll fail. Again, and again, and again. You've become something they can't touch, something they'll never be. They thought they were throwing you into the fire, thought they'd watch you burn and laugh at the ashes, but instead, you walked through it. You let it tear you apart, scar you, shape you, and now you've risen from it, stronger, harder, unshakable. And that scares them. It terrifies them, because you're not supposed to be here. You're not supposed to be standing. You're supposed to be broken, defeated, destroyed. But instead, you're looking them in the eye, calm and unbothered, while their world burns around them. Oh, they'll tell themselves it's not their fault. They'll rewrite the story, twist the truth, try to paint themselves as the victims. They'll point their fingers at you, at the fire, at anyone but themselves. Because admitting the truth, admitting they started this, that they fed the flames with their lies, their hatred, their betrayal, that would mean taking responsibility. And people like them, they don't know how to do that. But it doesn't matter, does it? Their lies, their excuses, their desperate attempts to shift the blame, they're meaningless, because the truth is out there, clear as day, written in the ashes of everything they destroyed. And no amount of screaming, no amount of scheming can change that. Here's the real joke, my friend. They thought the fire would destroy you, but instead, it set you free. Free from their control, their games, their poison. You're not bound by their rules anymore, not trapped by their chaos. You've taken their fire, their hate, their destruction, and turned it into something they'll never have. Power. Real power. And that power, it's yours now. It's in your hands, in your scars, in your calmness. And no matter how hard they try, no matter how loud they scream, they'll never be able to take it away from you. They started the fire thinking it would destroy you, but all it did was reveal who they really are. Cowards, weak, pathetic. They thought they were in control, thought they could bend you to their will. But now they're the ones running, the ones choking on the smoke, the ones watching their world fall apart. And you're still here, standing, strong, watching. Not because you wanted this, not because you planned it, but because they gave you no choice. They pushed you into the flames, and now they're paying the price. So let them burn, let them scream, let them drown in the chaos they created. This fire, it's theirs. This destruction, it's theirs. And you're not the one burning anymore. You're the one standing tall, watching as the flames consume everything they thought they controlled. And that's the real punchline. They started the fire, but now they're the ones getting burned. Oh, they're still trying, aren't they? Scrambling, clawing, begging the flames to die down, thinking they can undo what they started. But fires don't work like that. You can't whisper your way out of a blaze you fed with your own hands. They poured fuel on it, over and over, thinking it would consume you, thinking it would leave you in ruins. And now they're choking on the smoke, trying to douse a fire that's already devoured them. And the irony, they'll never admit it's their fault. Never. Even as the flames scorch their skin, even as their world collapses around them, they'll find someone else to blame. Maybe you, maybe someone else. Because admitting the truth, that would mean admitting they're weak, that they failed, that everything they touched turned to ash, because they were the ones who struck the match. But you know the truth, don't you? You've always known. They didn't see you coming. They didn't think you had it in you to stand tall, to rise above the chaos, to let their fire shape you instead of destroy you. They underestimated you, and now they're paying the price. But don't think for a second that they'll stop. People like them, they don't know how to stop. They're addicted to the chaos, to the power they think it gives them. Even as the fire burns everything they've built, even as it turns on them, they'll keep feeding it. They'll keep throwing everything they have into it, thinking they can regain control, thinking they can still win. But here's the punchline. They've already lost. They lost the moment they thought they could control you, the moment they thought their fire would break you. And now they're the ones breaking. You become their worst nightmare, not because you fought back, not because you stooped to their level, but because you didn't. You didn't react the way they wanted you to. You didn't scream, didn't beg, didn't crumble. You just stood there, calm, unshaken. And that terrifies them. Because calmness, real calmness, it's something they'll never understand. It's something they'll never have. It's not just the absence of chaos. It's control. It's strength. It's power. And you've mastered it. You've taken everything they threw at you, all the hate, all the lies, all the betrayal, and you've turned it into something they can't touch. They thought they were strong, thought they had power, control, dominance. But real strength, real power, it doesn't scream. It doesn't lash out. It doesn't need an audience. Real power is quiet. It's calm. It's unshakable. And you've become the embodiment of it. And that's why they hate you. That's why they can't let you go. Every time they see you, every time they hear your name, it's like a knife in their chest, a reminder of their failure, a reminder of your strength, a reminder that no matter how many times they tried to break you, they couldn't. But don't let their screams distract you. Don't let their desperation pull you back into their chaos. They'll try. Oh, they'll try. They'll cry. They'll lie. They'll twist the story. Make themselves the victims. Paint you as the villain. But you don't owe them anything. Not your time, not your energy, not your forgiveness. They started this fire. They fed it. They watched it grow, thinking they were untouchable, thinking it would only consume you. And now it's their turn to burn. And you're still here, standing, strong, untouchable. You didn't just survive their fire, you became it. You took everything they threw at you and turned it into fuel. You let it forge you into something they'll never understand, something they'll never be. And now, every time they see you, every time they hear your name, they'll feel it. The heat, the fear, the helplessness. The fire they started has become their prison, and they'll never escape it. So let them burn. Let them scream. Let them drown in the chaos they created. This fire, it's not yours to fear anymore. It's theirs. And they'll spend the rest of their lives choking on the smoke, watching as everything they built turns to ash. Because the truth is, they thought they could destroy you, thought they could erase you, thought they could reduce you to nothing. But instead, they destroyed themselves. And that's the joke. They started the fire, but now they're the ones getting burned.
You ever look in the mirror, not at the reflection, not the surface, I mean past the cracks? You see the shadow behind your eyes, the one that's always there whispering. It asks you a question. Why do they only care when you're useful? That's what it says, over and over. Louder each time. You can't drown it out. They only love you when you're useful. Let me tell you something. That whisper, it ain't a lie. It's the only honest thing in this rotten world. You're nothing to people until you've got something they can take. Your kindness doesn't matter. Your pain, they laugh at it. Your dreams, they trample them. But the moment you give them something, money, time, a shoulder to cry on, oh, then you're their hero, their savior. But the second you're empty, when there's nothing left to give, they drop you like trash. You're here because you know I'm right. You feel it, don't you? That emptiness inside. The one that keeps growing, no matter how much you try to fill it. You give and give and give, thinking one day someone's gonna see you. Really see you. But they never do. You're like a damn vending machine to them. The moment you run out of what they want, they kick you, shake you, curse you. And when you still don't deliver, they move on to the next. I've been there. God, I've been there. I used to think if I smiled enough, they'd care. If I made them laugh, they'd stay. I painted on this face every day, hoping maybe this time it'd be different. But it never was. They used me, and when they were done, they threw me into the dirt. No thank you, no goodbye. Just silence, cold, empty. You think it's your fault, don't you? You think you weren't good enough, that if you just tried harder, given more, they wouldn't have left. That's the lie they want you to believe. But let me tell you the truth, it's not you. It was never you. It's them. They're parasites, leeches. They take everything until there's nothing left, and then they blame you for being empty. You gave them your trust. You gave them your heart. And what did they do? They crushed it. They looked you in the eyes, smiled, and lied to your face. Told you they cared. Told you they'd be there. But when you fell, when you needed them, they vanished. It hurts, doesn't it? God, it hurts so much you can barely breathe. Feels like your chest is caving in, like there's this weight crushing you, and no matter how hard you try, you can't get it off. You want to scream, cry, beg them to come back, but you can't, because deep down, you know they won't. They never cared, not really. They loved what you could do for them, not who you are. They loved your usefulness, not your soul. And now that you got nothing left to give, you're invisible. But here's the thing, that emptiness you feel, that darkness, it's not a weakness. No, it's a weapon. Because once you've hit rock bottom, once you've been shattered into a million pieces, you realize something, you don't need them. The ones who left you, the ones who broke you, they don't define you. They don't get to decide your worth. You do. You're stronger than they'll ever be. You know why? Because you felt the kind of pain that would destroy them. You've walked through hell, and you're still here. Still freaking here. So don't you dare let them win. Don't let their betrayal, their cruelty, their indifference turn you into something you're not. You're better than them. You're better because you care, because you feel, because even after everything they did, you're still fighting. But don't fight for them. Don't fight to prove them wrong. Fight for you, because you're worth it. Even if they don't see it, even if they never did, they only love you when you're useful. But you're more than what you can give. You're more than their shallow, selfish love. Let them go. Let the pain fuel you, not break you. Rise from the ashes they left you in and show the world what it missed. Because one day, they'll realize what they lost. And when they come crawling back, you won't need them anymore. And that's the punchline. You know, there's something poetic about pain. It's the one thing that never lies. People, oh, they'll tell you 1,000 things, fill your head with promises, sweet words that melt like sugar on your tongue. But pain tells the truth. It strips you bare, exposes every crack, every flaw. It doesn't pretend. It doesn't care about appearances. Pain, it's honest. Do you know why they leave? Why they vanish the moment you need them most? It's because they're cowards. The truth scares them. Your pain scares them. They can't handle the weight of it, so they run. And the worst part? They make you believe it's your fault. But it's not your fault. None of it. You didn't ask to be broken. You didn't ask to be tossed aside like garbage. They chose to leave because they couldn't face their own reflection in your eyes. They saw your struggle and it reminded them of their own weakness. They saw your tears and it made them feel something. Something they've spent their whole lives trying to bury. Guilt, shame, fear. So instead of standing by you, they left. Because it was easier. People always take the easy way out, don't they? They love when it's convenient, when it's fun. But when love requires sacrifice, when it demands effort, they're gone. You ever wonder why it hurts so much? Why it feels like your heart's been ripped out of your chest? Like there's this gaping hole inside you that nothing can fill. It's because you loved them, really loved them. And they took that love and turned it into a weapon. You gave them everything. Your trust, your time, your soul, and they used it. They used you until there was nothing left. I know what it feels like. God, I know you want to hate them. You want to scream at them, make them feel even a fraction of the pain they caused you. But you can't, can you? Because deep down, you still care. That's the cruelest part of it all. You still care about people who wouldn't even cross the street for you. People who'd walk past you bleeding in the gutter without a second glance. And that's what makes you stronger than them. They might have broken you, but they didn't destroy you because you still have the capacity to feel, to care, to love, even after everything. But let me tell you something. Caring, it's a double-edged sword. It's what makes you human, but it's also what they'll use to control you. So you've got to learn to guard it, protect it. Not everyone deserves your kindness. Not everyone deserves your love. And that's not selfish. It's survival. Because the next time they come around, the next time they see you shining again and try to take what's yours, you'll be ready. You'll see them for what they really are. Leeches feeding off your light. And this time, you won't let them. I wish I could tell you it gets easier. That one day, the pain just disappears, but it doesn't. You'll carry it with you like a scar etched into your soul. But that's okay, because scars, they're proof that you survived. Proof that you were stronger than whatever tried to destroy you. Every scar you have, it tells a story. A story of pain, yes, but also of resilience, of strength, of a heart that refused to stop beating, even when the world gave it every reason to. And one day you'll look back at this moment, at the tears, the heartbreak, the emptiness, and you'll realize something. It didn't break you, it bent you. Sure, twisted you, reshaped you, but it didn't break you. And that's what makes you unstoppable. Because once you've been to the bottom, once you face the worst and come out the other side, there's nothing left to fear. So let them leave. Let them walk away. You don't need their validation. You don't need their fake love. You are enough, just as you are, broken, scarred, and whole in ways they'll never understand. They only love you when you're useful. But your worth isn't tied to what you can do for others. It's not tied to their approval. Your worth is in the way you keep going, even when it feels impossible. It's in the way you get back up again and again, no matter how many times the world knocks you down. You're a survivor, and that's something they'll never be able to take from you. So cry if you need to. Scream if you have to. But don't stop. Don't ever stop. Because one day they'll look back and they'll realize they lost the best thing that ever happened to them. And by then, you won't need their love anymore. You'll have something far better for yourself. They only love you when you're useful, but you're so much more than that. You know what the hardest part is? It's not the pain, not even the betrayal. It's realizing that no matter how much you gave, no matter how much you bled for them, it was never enough. They always wanted more. More of your time, more of your energy, more of your soul. And you kept giving it to them, didn't you? Kept telling yourself, maybe this time they'll appreciate me. Maybe this time that they'll see me. But they didn't. They never do. You're sitting there, wondering what you did wrong, wondering why they left, why they didn't fight for you, why they didn't care enough to stay. But that's the thing about people like them. They don't fight. They don't stay. They take what they need. And when there's nothing left, they move on. And the world lets them. It rewards them for it. You see it every day, don't you? The liars, the cheats, the manipulators. They climb higher and higher while people like you, people who love too much, who give too much, get left behind. It's not fair. It's never been fair. But here's the thing. You can't keep waiting for the world to change. You can't keep hoping that one day they'll wake up and realize what they lost, because they won't. You think they're sitting there regretting what they did to you? You think they're losing sleep over the way they hurt you? No, they've already forgotten. Moved on to their next victim, their next useful person. And that's why you gotta stop waiting for their apology. Stop waiting for their acknowledgement, their closure, because it's never coming. I know it hurts. God, I know. You gave them pieces of yourself that you'll never get back. Pieces you can't replace. And now you're left with this emptiness. This hole that feels like it's going to swallow you whole. But here's the thing about emptiness. It can be filled. Not by them, no, not by anyone else, but by you. You've got to stop looking for validation in people who don't even see you. Stop begging for love from people who only care about themselves. You've got to learn to love yourself. Sounds cliche, doesn't it? Love yourself. Like it's some magic cure for all the pain, all the heartbreak. But it's not. It's hard. It's the hardest thing you'll ever do. Because loving yourself means accepting every broken piece, every scar, every mistake. It means looking in the mirror and saying, I'm enough, even when the world keeps telling you you're not. But you are. You're enough. You've always been enough. They just couldn't see it. And that's their loss, not yours. Because one day you're going to rebuild yourself. You're going to take all those broken pieces they left behind and turn them into something stronger, something unbreakable. And when they see you standing tall, when they realize you didn't need them after all, it'll kill them. But by then, you won't care because you'll have something they'll never have. Not the kind that comes from pretending everything's okay. Not the kind that comes from burying your pain. But real peace. The kind that comes from knowing you survived. From knowing you're stronger than they'll ever be. They only love you when you're useful. That's the truth. That's the world we live in. But you're gonna be so much more than what they tried to make you. You're gonna rise from this, not because of them, but in spite of them. And when you do, you'll realize something. You never needed their love. Because the kind of love that only lasts when you're useful, that's not love. That's a transaction. Real love, it doesn't leave when things get hard. It doesn't disappear when you're empty. It stays. It fights. And one day you'll find that kind of love. Maybe not in someone else. Maybe in yourself. And when you do, you'll finally be free. Free from the pain. Free from the lies. Free from them. You know, I used to think the world owed me something. Like, if I just kept pushing, kept being what they wanted me to be, eventually someone would see me. Really see me. Not the mask, not the laughs, not the tricks, just me. But they don't. They never do. And you keep breaking yourself into smaller and smaller pieces, thinking if you just rearrange them the right way, they'll finally care. But they won't, because people only care about themselves. That's the truth they don't want to admit. They take what they need, and the second you stop being useful, they move on. You give them your time, your energy, your loyalty. You bleed for them. And what do they give you in return? Silence. Indifference, a cold shoulder when you're at your lowest. They say love is unconditional. What a joke. Love always comes with conditions. Be this, do that. Don't make me uncomfortable. The second you show them your flaws, your pain, your truth, they're gone. And the thing is, it's not just them. It's the whole damn world. This city, this system, this machine, it grinds people up, chews them to bits, and spits them out. And if you can't keep up, if you can't deliver what it wants, you're discarded, forgotten. You think they care about me? About the man under this mask? No, they love the joke, the performance, the usefulness. But the moment I stop being their entertainment, I'm nothing, less than nothing. That's what they do to all of us. They put us in these little boxes, give us these labels, friend, lover, family, but they don't mean a damn thing. Because the second you step out of line, the second you stop being what they need you to be, those labels disappear. Like you're not a person to them. You're a function, a tool. And when that tool breaks, when it wears out, they throw it away. And the worst part, you let them. You let them take and take and take because you think maybe, just maybe, this time will be different. But it's not. It's never different. And every time they leave, every time they rip another piece of you away, it gets harder to put yourself back together. You start to wonder if it's even worth it. If maybe it'd be easier to just give up, to stop caring, to stop trying. But that's what they want. That's what this world wants. It wants to break you, to grind you down until there's nothing left. And you can't let it. You hear me? You can't let them win. Because every time you get back up, every time you claw your way out of the darkness they left you in, you're proving them wrong. They want you to believe you're worthless. That you're nothing without them. But that's a lie. It's always been a lie. You're more than the things you can do for people. You're more than their expectations, their judgments, their labels. You're a survivor, a fighter, and every scar you carry, every tear you've shed, every broken piece you've had to glue back together, that's proof of your strength. They'll call you crazy, broken, damaged. They'll use every word they can think of to make you doubt yourself. But you know what those words really mean? They're afraid of you. Afraid of what you'll become when you finally realize you don't need them. Because once you stop living for their approval, once you stop giving them the power to define your worth, you become unstoppable. And that terrifies them. I'm not going to lie to you, it's not going to be easy. There are days when the pain will feel like too much, when the weight of it all will make you want to give up. But those are the days you have to fight the hardest. Those are the days you have to remind yourself who you are. You're not what they did to you. You're not the mistakes you've made or the scars you carry. You're more than that. So much more. And one day you'll look back on all of this, the pain, the heartbreak, the betrayal, and you'll realize it didn't break you, it made you. They only love you when you're useful. But you're gonna learn to love yourself, not for what you can do, but for who you are. And when you do, you'll finally be free. You'll never understand, but that's okay, because I do. And so will you. You ever wonder why they couldn't stay? Why they couldn't just love you without conditions, without strings attached? You ever sit there and tear yourself apart trying to figure out what you did wrong? I know you have, because that's what people like us do. We carry the weight of their failures, their betrayals, as if it's our burden to bear. We ask ourselves, was I not good enough? Did I push too hard? Did I love too much? But the truth is, it's not you. It was never you. It was them. People, they don't leave because you're too much. They leave because they're not enough. They see the light in you, the fire, the strength, and it scares them. They look at you, and it's like holding up a mirror to all the parts of themselves they're too afraid to face. And instead of dealing with that, instead of growing, they run. They run because it's easier. Because pretending you don't exist is easier than admitting they weren't good enough to stay. And you're left with the aftermath, aren't you? Picking up the pieces, trying to make sense of the mess they left behind, trying to rebuild yourself while carrying the weight of their lives, their rejection, their indifference. It's cruel, isn't it? How they can just walk away like you never mattered. How they can forget you so easily while you're stuck drowning in the memories, the what ifs, the could have beens. But let me tell you something. You don't need them. You don't need their half-hearted apologies, their empty promises, their fleeting affection. You don't need the people who only show up when it benefits them, who only love you when you're useful. Because their love, it's not real. It never was. Real love doesn't leave when things get hard. Real love doesn't vanish when you're struggling, when you're broken, when you're empty. Real love stays. It fights. It endures. And if they couldn't do that for you, then they didn't deserve you. I know it doesn't feel that way right now. I know it feels like you're drowning, like you'll never escape this darkness, but you will. You've survived this far, haven't you? You've carried yourself through pain that would have destroyed anyone else. You've stood in the face of betrayal, of heartbreak, of loss, and you're still here. That's not weakness. That's strength. Do you know what that makes you? It makes you unstoppable. Because once you've faced the worst, once you've walked through hell and come out the other side, there's nothing left to fear. The people who left you, the people who broke you, they're not stronger than you. They're weaker, cowards. They couldn't handle your light, your truth, your power, so they tried to dim it, but they failed. And now it's your turn. Your turn to rise. Your turn to take back everything they tried to steal from you. Your confidence, your self-worth, your joy. Because you deserve more than what they gave you. You deserve more than scraps, more than half-hearted affection, more than conditional love. You deserve everything. And one day you'll have it. One day you'll look back at all of this. The pain, the betrayal, the emptiness, and you'll realize it made you. It didn't break you. It shaped you into something stronger, something unbreakable. And when they see that, when they see you standing tall, shining brighter than ever, it'll kill them. But by then you won't care. By then you'll have moved on. You'll have found people who see you, who love you for who you are, not for what you can do for them. And you'll have found something even more important than their love. You'll have found yourself. And that's worth more than anything they could have ever given you. So let them go. Let the pain fuel you, not break you. Let it remind you of your strength, your resilience, your power. And never forget, they only love you when you're useful. But you're so much more than that. And one day, you'll see it too.
Cause I don't give a fuck what you say. Yeah, I'ma do shit my way. So you can go kick rocks, I'ma stack bricks up, build what I want to make. Yo, I got a lot of shit to say, so I'ma do this every day. I'll be writing things until I'm fucking buried in my grave. 6 feet deep under, but my body won't decay. Cause my messages are timeless, so they'll put them on display. Oh yeah, I rap with a certainty, I have a sense of urgency. A message for eternity, for everyone internally. I had some people burning me, but now they fucking learn to see I ain't the one to fuck with, now they looking nervously. And I don't really care what you think of me, respectfully. You can kick rocks if you think you're fucking better, see. I will outwork you, turn you to an enemy. Hurt you so bad that you're gonna need some therapy. I got the motherfucking recipe, I've been cooking up hits, I'ma leave a legacy. You'll be looking small when you're standing right next to me. I'm 5'10", bitch, but I'm 10 feet next to me. I don't give a fuck what you say. Yeah, I'ma do shit my way. So you can go kick rocks, I'ma stack bricks up, build what I want to make. Cause I don't give a fuck what you say. Yeah, I'ma do shit my way. So you can go kick rocks, I'ma stack bricks up, build what I want to make. Yeah, I'ma do it my way. Coming out with a statement. You really changed, man, all your music and arrangement. You don't know shit, shut your mouth, you can save it. I'm the same dude that got his come up from the basement. 100 songs, 100 weeks, didn't change it. Experiments, development, intelligence, and patience. I'll do it all again, cause I never feel complacent. Let's keep the good vibes, positivity's contagious. I'm never looking back, cause I made a life that's passionate. A college graduate suppressing all his talents, yeah. He found a way to go and change, become an advocate. For taking control of your life, go out and battle. And you think you have a dream, then act on it, get after it. Get out your head and fucking capture it. You got one life to master it. Don't give up on your future, we all start losers. We're all late bloomers, gotta struggle through the sewer. What you say? Yeah, I'ma do shit my way. So you can go kick rocks, I'ma stack bricks up, build what I want to make. Cause I don't give a fuck what you say. Yeah, I'ma do shit my way. So you can go kick rocks, I'ma stack bricks up, build what I want